if you hadn't already figured it out, or if you're just not old enough to recognize it, in which case that's actually quite a scary thought in itself. This is the Mutt Cutts van from the movie Dumb and Dumber, available to drive for free in Assetto Corsa. It's not fast, and I doubt you'll ever see it on an official LFM server anytime soon, but yeah, that is Jeff Daniels in the passenger seat. The ears don't move like in the movie, and the fur doesn't blow majestically in the wind, but that doesn't really matter when you can do this.
You're it. Quitties! Any quitties? You're it. Quitties. No any quitties, no startsies. You can't do that. Can do. Cannot. Stand it. Can't do double stand it, no erases. Cannot. Triple stand it, no erases.
You get the idea.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
There's no reason to download this mod other than just to have a bit of fun. Simply because you can, but you know what? That's exactly the kind of thing that sim racing needs every now and then. And thanks to the awesome modding community in Assetto Corsa, that's the kind of thing that you can do, just like this. It's so easy to get wrapped up in the seriousness of it all sometimes, you know. Practice lap after practice lap, setup shops, analysing telemetry to find minuscule amounts of time, endless fine-tuning of graphics and force feedback settings, sweaty eSports, comparing which GT3 is best, finger-pointing, incident reviews on Reddit, community toxicity and... It all gets a bit too much sometimes, and it's so far removed from the reason we actually do this all in the first place. Fun. For the vast majority of people, sim racing is a hobby. It's something to kill some free time with. It's a way to unwind after a long day at work, or something to enjoy together with your mates from your regular league. Yeah, sure, you can take it much more seriously than that, but at the end of the day, I think everybody needs to do something like this once in a while. Now, this is normally the point of the video where I start talking about things like engine power, handling characteristics, tyre life, but honestly, that's not the point here. None of that matters because I honestly doubt that anyone will be putting this thing in a competitive racing situation anytime soon. I mean, it looks like a van, it drives like a van, and it's probably going to set a lap time like a van. What more do you need to know? To say it drives like a van is probably a little bit unfair though, to be honest, because you can absolutely throw this thing around. The suspension is ridiculously soft, which means you can fully launch it up over the curbs and hardly lose any time at all, and it looks great in the process as well. You know, up on two wheels, legs flapping around. I mean, look at it. The soft suspension also means as well, believe it or not, with the rear wheel drive, you can actually slide this thing out of the slow speed corners. I mean, it's easily savable, to be fair. You're not going to like spin it out completely, but I was not expecting to be able to drift this thing when I started this session today. Now, there are also plenty of hard braking zones at Circuit Thermalito here, so yeah, normally it would be quite frustrating in a van, but the brakes in this thing are actually really good. I'm braking far deeper into the corners than pretty much any other car that I've run on the Thermalito leaderboard so far, and the mid-corner grip is there to back it up as well, and it's amazing, really. These are semi-slick tyres, just like the Honda was last time out in the previous video, and don't get me wrong, it is a slow vehicle in general, but you feel like an absolute hero just being able to launch it into the corners, and it sticks. You can brake late, throw it in, and yeah, it is so surprising. It really is so surprising. Then again, it might just be because you're not ever reaching a high enough top speed to bleed off that much in the corners anyway. I mean, here at Thermalito, I'm barely scratching 150k now as I approach probably the fastest point on the circuit. Now, for what it's worth, I don't know what kind of engine this has in it, and I couldn't find any interviews with Jim Carrey to confirm what was used in the movie. But according to Content Manager and Assetto Corsa, this thing is putting out 195 brake horsepower, and it only weighs 775 kilos, which doesn't sound right now that I'm thinking about it. Although I'm not sure if that includes a whole heap of pooches in the back and mustard and things flying around all over the place. No doubt the layer of fur and massive flappy legs on the exterior also add a few extra kilos, but either way, it's not exactly going to be setting the Circuit Thermalito leaderboard on fire. I'm not driving this to set a blistering lap time though, and I might not ever drive it again once I've finished making this video, but I've had the stupidest grin on my face whilst editing all of this footage together, and hopefully, maybe, you'll get a chuckle out of this too, which makes it all worthwhile. You can thank Olaf for this, by the way, because this was his choice of vehicle on his Thermalito Kickstarter pledge. Made by Mad Max, this Assetto Corsa mod is completely free to download, links down in the video description, and if you do give it a go, then make sure you map some extra buttons in Content Manager. I think it's extra control A, B, and D, so you can kick up the legs like this, and also play the movie in the center console, and sound off the horn. It's so good. Anyway, what's the Circuit Thermalito leaderboard lap time going to be like? This may take a while. Heading out of the final corner, and have you ever seen a more ridiculous sight? Giant plume of smoke out the back of this van as it goes over the start-finish line. Heading towards turn 1, big dip on the nose here, let's launch it in, lots of curb! It's cocking the leg over turn 2 and almost hitting the barrier, up the hill, try and delay that upshift as late as possible. You want to use all the revs and not kill the momentum. Through Davenport. To be fair, it actually looks very stable and getting some curb through turn 5 here as well. You don't normally see that, but honestly in this thing it's absolutely flat out through there, so you have no risk of losing any speed whatsoever. What about turn 8? Whole corner. Just a micro lift, no brakes. Oh, it's pushing wide. Could have done with not going that wide. Taking the bollard out for good measure as well. And towards the MJSs now. Look at the leg. That's amazing. I wonder if that counts as contact with the wall if the leg hits it but the body doesn't. Anyway, up over the crest of the MJSs. Giant plume of smoke once more heading down towards the Hunter Loop on the sticky straight here. Braking super late at 50 meters. Another detail I love in this car is the medallion hanging off the centre there. Just the Mad Max little coin, whatever it is. The physics modelling in this is incredible. The level of detail, they didn't have to do that, but they did. Just because. Down the Abaddon straight again. Straights in this thing seem like they go on forever. Big nose dip heading towards Binsbergen here. Over the curve to the inside. Nice. Chuck it into Jorgensen. Nice again. Actually sounds quite good through the tunnel. And through Chicanemund, had to take 2 bites of the steering wheel there. A very wide line in this thing. You can use all the momentum and not lose too much time. GT cars, single seaters, not so much, but the wide line works in this van. Anyway, towards the power loop. Nicely done again. The one point of the track where you can quite easily wheel spin if you're not too careful. Down into second gear, up into third and straight back down to second again. A bit of rear locking into the Naumann. Straight back on the power again. And absolutely flat through the S's here. Henrik 1, Henrik 2. Here's Naptic. Here's Fielders. And Eldora Drive. I don't normally get to say these corner names because you threw them before you get a chance to say them, but plenty of time in this Dumb and Dumber van. Bergen Bend, Rangy King, and onto the start-finish straight. Heading towards the line. Long distance toward the line, still heading towards the line, and there we go. Fantastic. So, currently at the bottom of the Circuit Thermalito leaderboard is the Ford Transit van on a 3-minute 14.303. Will the Mutt Cutts mobile be taking away honours of the slowest car today? Well, not with a 2-minute 42.707 it won't. It's not quite as fast as the Rover, so I wouldn't be using this as a getaway vehicle anytime soon, but it absolutely trounces the Ford Transit van by quite a significant margin, and honestly, I wasn't expecting anything near that. I wasn't expecting sub 3 minutes, so that's impressive. Anyway, if you've got some time to burn and you think you can beat that, then go for it. Even if you don't, this was one of the most enjoyable hot lap sessions, if not the most enjoyable hot lap sessions in this Thermalito leaderboard series that I've done so far. So even if you don't beat it, you're still going to have a pretty big smile on your face, I'll guarantee you that. Links are down in the video description for the car, the track, and my Discord server where you'll need to post your lap time and replay to get it verified and up on the leaderboard instead of mine. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. If so, leave it a like, and as always, thanks for watching.